Shrimp are so tasty and delicate, it's easy to see why it's one of America's favorite seafoods. You can find it in almost any restaurant, but you don't have to go out to enjoy it. I'll show you how to make a shrimp and scallop bake with tomato and feta. Let's get started. I have about half a pound of unpeeled shrimp. You can buy shrimp deveined and peeled, but when you buy it with the peel on, it's going to taste a lot fresher. However, if you have to save time and buy it peeled and deveined, just make sure to use it within 24 hours of purchasing. But right now, I'm gonna show you how to peel your shrimp if you do buy it this way. It's actually really easy. All you wanna do is push your thumbs underneath this shell, and the peel will start to come right off. Just like that. The legs will come off at the same time. So just repeat that until the entire shell is off. Now, at this point, you can choose to leave the tail on or take it off. It's really a matter of preference. A lot of times you leave the tail on for presentation, or if you're going to be dipping the shrimp in a sauce, it's nice because you can grab it by the tail, but in this case, I'll just go ahead and pinch to remove the tail. There you go. There's one more part to prepping the shrimp, deveining. There's a long dark vein where if you don't remove it, it can be a little bit gritty in your dish. So to devein your shrimp, just grab a paring knife and run it along that vein. You don't really want to butterfly your shrimp, you just want to get in there deep enough to actually grab the vein and take it out. I'll just repeat that same two-step process for the rest of this batch. The second star of this dish are the scallops. I have here about 7 ounces of bay scallops. These are smaller, they're usually found farmed, and they're a lot sweeter than the larger variety. To prep them, all you want to do is rinse them under cold water, which I've already done, and check to make sure that the little piece of muscle has been removed. But most times when you go to a fish market or the supermarket, they will have already done that for you. But it doesn't hurt to double check to make sure that there's no extra muscle left over. If there is, just grab your paring knife and remove it. Shrimp are packed with a lot of nutrition. They're high in protein, vitamin D, and B vitamins. Plus, if you're watching your carbs, they are carb-free. Now let's talk about the veggies in this dish. We're just going to slice about 3 to 4 cups of tomatoes, which will become the sauce for our dish. These beautiful tomatoes are ready. So we'll just roughly chop the oregano. This dish is a little Mediterranean, it's a little Italian, and it's so delicious. Plus, it's great if you're hosting a family-style meal and you want to put something on the table that everybody can share together. And we'll slice 3 cloves of garlic. And finally, we'll slice 3 green onions. When I'm slicing green onions, I think it's a lot prettier when you slice them diagonally. Not a big deal, just adds a little bit more to the presentation. Our ingredients are prepped, so let's take all of this to the stove to get it started. I have a few tablespoons of olive oil already heating over medium heat, and to that I'll add our sliced garlic. We'll just let those saute until they're golden brown. Now we'll add about a cup of white wine, which will be the base for our tomato sauce. And we'll let that simmer for about 10 minutes or until half of the liquid has reduced. Then in go our tomatoes and fresh oregano. We'll season it with a tablespoon of honey or sugar, salt, and fresh ground pepper. Give it a good mix and then let this simmer for about 20 minutes or until the tomatoes start to break down and you have a nice sauce. The tomatoes have cooked down to a beautiful sauce, and now it's time to put our shrimp and scallops in the mix. So we'll just put those right in there. And these cook really quickly. So we're only going to cook these on the stovetop for about 3 minutes before putting them into the oven and finishing them under the broiler. Before this goes under the broiler, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of feta cheese on top. Cheese and any kind of seafood don't typically go together, but feta cheese has a salty, briny flavor that does really go well with shrimp and scallops. Cheese doesn't always have to be made from cow's milk. You can also find sheep's milk cheese and goat cheese. And green onion. Oh yeah. After just a few minutes under the broiler, the shrimp curled up and it turned a beautiful pink color, and that's how you know it's ready. Now, to plate this dish, I like serving it with a side of really crusty bread for dipping. You can also serve this over a bed of couscous or rice for a beautiful family-style meal. Now all that's left to do is eat.